you're not on track with your goal, what can you sit down and reanalyze like why you're not? So, I mean, when I was doing this today and really breaking this down, I mean, of course, there's a domino effect on this that started, when I started complaining about expireds not answering the phone, and I dug in deep, we're not hitting them enough, and being down. Jennifer asked, like, one of her questions was, let me go back up here. Up in buyers but not in listings. Is it because listings are sitting longer, or is it because working with buyers, ready to go buyers are easier? And so, we're actually down in the number of listings we've taken by, I think we're down 7%. So there's a twofold approach to that. One, listings are taking longer to sell, right? So we need to do a better job of setting expectation. And I do think that there's a little bit of a hangover effect on, maybe the people feel like they missed the boat a little bit, or then we're also losing to some iBuyers, some corporate investors, hedge funds, and I was talking with one of our leaders today, and they were talking about how that could roughly make up about, between Opendoor, Zillow, and all that, about 10% of the purchases. So that makes sense being down a little bit. We just have to do a better job of getting in front of people. Right, and so what does that mean? I mean, unfortunately, it means we have to do a better job of putting effort in, being more intentional with our effort. We talked about this. I mean, hopefully it's okay. We can talk about this. You guys lost some team members.
Yeah, I actually just did it, even though he didn't answer. He was like, I hope we can talk about this. Your parents are dead? I'm like, wait, what?
But at the same time,
get my permission.
I also lost a team member today. And the funny thing is, the reasoning is the same reason for yours, is not wanting to the effort that is involved in order to take the amount of business and the work that needs to be involved to win today.
Right.
It's a lot harder.
And it's not. And here's the thing is too, right? Like and we told our team this yesterday. It's not about performance. I don't think. I think it's the mindset around performance. Because in order to be coachable, one, you have to be honest and you have to be really humble. You have to be willing to. You have to be, even when reevaluating your goals, right? That's where we started with this. You have to be able to go back and look and honestly say, why am I not hitting these goals? It's probably not because you were putting in max effort, almost assuredly. And when people are really faced, and we talk about that even with the Tour Academy stuff we're doing, right? Like, this is really actionable stuff. And the question is, do people want actionable stuff? Or do they want memes with really slick hashtags on them to keep them pumped up, because it makes them feel really good in the moment? But then when it doesn't work out, they didn't really put a ton of effort into it. They didn't have to think a lot about it. And that's really what it is. I think for most people, they're just going to go back to some other shit job where they've got to work a bunch. It's not about the actual physical activity. It's the mindset around the physical activity. And they either assume there's something easier, or they just assume that, specifically in our situation, don't know what the hell we're talking about, right? And there must be some easier way, so let me go find that.
Well, I mean, a buddy of mine, and I think you guys may know him, Brent Hicks. He's a big-time lender. He was doing a talk one time, and he's like, look, if you're 99% in, that means you're 100% out. Right? And so if you're giving 99% effort, that means you're giving 100% non-effort, right? Because you're leaving that extra 1% on that table, not doing everything that you could be doing. And when we lose an opportunity, or even when a contract falls out, this is something I talk with my staff, and my operations person, Stephanie, hates when I do this, but I'm like, did we do everything we can to make sure that contract stayed alive? And if they say yes, then I will throw out some scenarios, and I almost 100% of the time, so it's actually 100% of the time, they'll be like, well, I didn't try that. So we didn't go, all the way, right? And it's the same thing on our lead gen. We are, if you're leaving today, or whenever you're listening to this, and you did not set an appointment, did you go 8, 10, 12 hours? Did you truly put in that effort to set one appointment, to get at least one on the board?